What up, brothers? It's the Clipper King returning for another revisited review. You know the figure I'm going to do tonight. I'll point at you out in a minute. But first things first, I want to send a massive thank you out to the YouTube big baller, top dog himself, Brother Odell. You might know him as Mr. Lick Your Ass Crackdown 99. Yeah, I just need to send him a big thank you for letting us all use his YouTube and also his World Wide Web. I just think I better thank him first because I don't want to use it without his permission, or at least send him some respect. So we all know he owns it. He's rolling large and he's running shit apparently. So massive thanks to Brother Odell. But like I said, I'm going to be doing a revisited review tonight. You know the figure I'm doing by popular demand. It's the X-Men Origins Wolverine figure. There you can see the bitch. I'm going to throw into top shelf at big cabinet, get some good lighting for you, get it all set up, and get you 4 or 5 decent posers. Talk you through my thoughts on this figure now as it stands, probably a year and a half, 2 years since I bought it. So what I will do first, actually, I'll just give you a quick run through the collection, just to say the figures I'd consider revisiting next. Obviously, the newer ones, there's no point doing them because the reviews are up, so I'll just, excuse me. The ones I'd consider doing again, probably could be ready for doing the Iron Man Mark IV if you're interested in that. From that shelf, possibly consider doing the Godfather. It's about time I got back onto that. Maybe you want the DX Bruce Lee's. Could crack that one into you. Or maybe the Barney Ross. I'd consider doing that one. Moving across, no point really doing the Batman or Superman, I wouldn't think, because it's reasonably new. Spider-Man, I'd crack on Spider-Man if you wanted me to do that, brothers. Moving down, probably no point in doing the Batman Begins because that's reasonably new. I've already done the Joker and the Dark Knight Batman. Moving down, possibly consider doing the Berserker or the Wolf again. Pred 1, I've got some ideas for him anyway when my classic Pred comes, so I don't want to review him on his own just yet. No real point doing Indy or Jack Sparrow because the reviews are quite new on those, so yeah, no point doing those. I've already done Blade. What the fuck's that focusing on? I've already done Blade. I'm going to do Wolverine tonight. T1000 would be a possibility if you're interested in that. I've just done the bad Michael Jackson, but I would consider doing any of the other two. So let me know, brothers, which you want, and you know I aim to please. I go with sort of the majority kind of thing. But intro done. Like I said, massive thanks, Brother Odell. I hope you like this review. If it's not to your standards, do let me know. And I'll completely ignore your fucking comments and take no notes of you. But yeah, any feedback is welcome. So I'm going to put that on top shelf, like I said, get boxing, get you some poses out, brothers, try and give you some HD quality. So stick with Clipper King and we'll get in the know together. Right, brothers, let's crack on after all the mischief and piss taking. Let's finally get onto the figure that you've all been waiting for. As you can see, a pretty standard pose for the Wolverine. We'll explain the poses like I always do, basically just to tell you what goes through my mind when I'm looking for a certain pose and the things I look for in a good pose. Some of you might think the poses are shit, but that's, like I say, it's down to you. You buy the figures, put them how you want to put them. But I'll just start off by saying I hope you all had a chance to catch up with the old review that I recently uploaded. If nothing else, but just to see the difference in quality, but also just to see what my thoughts were when I originally bought the figure. Now this was a figure I sort of liked from the beginning. There are a couple of little nitpicks with it, and obviously we'll get onto those as I go through this revisited review. But the things I liked about it, I still pretty much like about it. I'll tell you what I've heard as regards to Wolverine figures, and then we'll roll on. I'll do some shout outs on people who reviewed it. What I'm also going to do tonight, brothers, is shout out my Skype brothers. It's just a small group of guys I've spoke to on Skype, and obviously because I'm so accessible to them and they're accessible to me, then I do find that I'm getting closer to quite a small, well, that's a small group. There's a few of us on, and it's really enjoyable getting to know each other a lot better. So I will do that. Also, I will leave a few comments on recent happenings. Just clue you in. I like to keep you all in loop. I know some of you don't like the drama, and to be honest, neither do I, but it sort of finds me, and I do court it a little bit if I'm honest, but I don't want that to take too much up of this. So yeah, like I said, the source material, I'm pretty clear on it in the first review. I do like the Wolverine film, but then again, I do like all the X-Men films. I think, if I remember rightly, I took into account Wolverine the character as opposed to Wolverine just from this film, or did I do it the other way around? I'm not too sure. But I don't think anybody can argue Wolverine's a fucking bad motherfucker of a character. You just know when well, you're probably like me, when you start at work and you're saying to your workmates, which superhero would you be and why? Most people, I would think, would go for Superman because he's too fucking super in my opinion. But Wolverine's not far down. He's cool as fuck, he's hard as fuck, and he's just like a fucking badass. Plus, you know he's getting plenty of fucking pussy, which also helps if you're going to be a superhero. So yeah, I think he is one of the best liked superheroes. Definitely the case between me and my workmates anyway, and it could be the same between you and your workmates kind of thing. So yeah, a top character, and Hot Toys did a top job recreating him. Yeah, so I was buzzing when I got it, and it's still the case now. Another thing as well I will say, it was one of those figures, this, like Blade, like a couple of others, it seems to hold its value really well. There were a spate of copied Wolverines that came out a few years ago. I think they came from Vietnam, if I remember rightly. They were coming out a little bit cheaper than the proper ones. Obviously, quality were nowhere near as good, but I did notice a lot did sell. So, if you did get one of the Vietnam ones, then I'm sorry for you because you're not getting the full fat version, so to speak. But then again, I suppose you picked it up cheap, so every cloud has a silver lining. But yeah, I just said that as regards to the source material. So just talking through the pose, like I say, it's pretty straight on pose. One leg as if he could be like sort of ready to push off sort of thing, ready to launch forward. I do like one leg in front of the other because it sort of shows movement as regards to legs side by side where he's clearly posing. I normally pose him with his arms like that for the simple reason that there is a joint in there, in the elbows, but when they're posed, it looks pretty natural because his bicep line would be somewhere there anyway. So I do normally have him with his with his arms like that, and also I would normally bend his hands back on himself just to sort of disguise the joint around his wrist, but yeah, like I said, pretty standard. I will get more extreme. I'll try and show you him fully clothed as well. I do prefer him in the vest, if I'm honest, because you can see his dog tags clearly, but you can also see the definition on his body sculpt, so that's why I do it. But like I said, the jacket's cool as fuck, so it's a shame not to have it on. Show you while I'm here, all the way around. Obviously, I put this figure on back shelf. We'll see more detail. I'm just showing you this as the opening pose sort of thing. But fucking badass look on his face. Like I say, you can see the abs there, where his pecs come down there. See the quality on that. See how close we can get here. There is some writing on it. I can't get close enough really because the claws are hitting the camera. I would have thought I could have picked the name up on the dog tag, but anyway, we'll call that pose number one. I'm going to move him to the side and just quickly show you around box. Pretty standard Marvel box. Pull away. Shoebox style. That is raised. If you can hear that. Really nice glossy feel to the claw. Let's turn it to the side. As you can see, that was the production photo, and I think when the head sculpt come out, are actually better than the prototype photos that they showed. So that's why I didn't pick the figure up in the first place. But then when it got released, I sort of regretted it. Nice picture on the back. Again, the prototype shot. In hand, it does look very different to that, I think, but others might disagree. And then another photo on that side. So yeah, nice box. I did get it in mint condition, which was a surprise because how little I paid for it, because it had already been released. I paid about £100 and £10 shipping. I think I explained that. Just a cheeky little buy it now on eBay. There is good deals out there, boys, if you look out for them. But yeah, the packaging, I liked it then. I still like it. Pretty cool. Better than the slipcover boxers. And like I said, I've explained the first pose. Stick with me, brothers, and I'll roll her on. Right, brothers and sisters, rolling on. As you can see, I've changed up the pose. Nothing too dramatic again. I will explain my thoughts during the pose, but I'm going to try and cover the likeness of his face and probably his body on this figure. And the reason I put him in this pose is it's still pretty straight up and down, but I want to be able to move the camera close round him, try and get some of the details on his face, his arms, his dog tags and things like that. So yeah, that's why I've put him in this pose. The thought process I used with for the pose like this is kind of, if you picture the scene where his bitch has just been killed, or he thinks she's been killed by a saber-tooth, he's sort of raging, he's kind of howling at the moon sort of thing, he's going fucking berserk, and yeah, I've got him sort of his back arched, right back, turning to the side, you'll get the picture sort of thing. Leant back, just going fucking berserk. Now, one of the problems with this figure is it only came with one head sculpt, so because it's got a neutral head sculpt, the expression doesn't really show that. But I mean, he has still got a fucking badass look in his eyes, but he's not really raging. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the sculpt first, and then I'll move down onto the body. As you can see, the depth in the eyes is fucking awesome. I could never have got a shot like that before with the camera I used to have. The work on his facial hair, again, really good. Some detail in there. Again, around the eyes. The crease on his forehead. The sweep of his hair sort of thing. All the way around. Like I say, the sculpt on the hair is fucking awesome. Into profile on that side. Again, look at the work on the beard. Really good. Getting like up above him. Look at the look in his eyes. He's not happy, lad. Fucking hell. Something's worrying him. But yeah, the facial likeness is really good. Again, I know people say it's different in hand. Most figures are different in hand, but I also think figures look different in different poses. You can put them in certain poses and you think, nah, I don't look fuck all. But then you can, a little tilt of the head or a little turn of the neck or, I don't know, just the lines of the body all change. And then you think, fucking hell, it's better than I thought it were. Just looking on there, look at hair on his neck. Awesome. Awesome work. See if I can get you this. Can you see the writing on his dog tag? That's close detail, that, brothers. I don't know if you can fully make out what it says. Let's have a look. Trying to still let the light get him. Beautiful. But yeah, just showing the detail that's gone into Hot Toys work here. Again, like I say, you can see the definition, the stomach muscle, veins on his arms, and then the hair on his arms, and down onto his hands. Again on the other arm, same again. Really good detail, really good sculpting. Fucking awesome work. So yeah, the likeness, I can't remember what score I get it. It's hard to remember all that way back, but I do really like it, and like I say, it poses really well. You get him head down, so you get him somewhere like that, and all of a sudden he just looks fucking mean, and you know it. But yeah, pose number 2 out of the way for you. Again, like I said, pretty straight up and down. I think I'll try and get you a dynamic one thrown in, boys, just to put some ideas in your brain. Stick with me, and I'll move it on.